Yep.
Nice. Episode 10, OGV episode 10. I'm your host, Orlando Razzo. Lex is back this week. First of all, Stripe Golf Co. Shout out Stripe Golf Co., stripegolfco.com. The coolest hats, one of the coolest logos. You see the cursive. They got it going on. Kansas City-based group. Love Stripe Golf Co. And get yourself a hat when you're out on the links. You got to wear that head covering unless you're a no hat guy, in which case, visor. Let the hair breathe. Get the visor. A lot of options at stripegolfco.com. We also have an announcement to make. We are doing a hole-in-one vlog, a hole-in-one challenge vlog, May 22nd.
Yep.
At Mountain Shadows Golf Resort. We're actually teeing off at 2 p.m. So if, the loyal fans out there want to come out and heckle, we really encourage that. But I'm really excited for that. Any thoughts on Mountain Shadows? Do you have any questions in regards to the course, or are you just, you can't wait to get here?
Are we gonna just play one time? How many holes is it? What are we looking at?
Well, it's an 18-hole par 3 course. So we're gonna have 18 chances to get that pin.
That's ample opportunity. Now, we got to just go one ball each, right? We got to play it straight up.
Yeah, 100%. But we can make caveats, and I was thinking, we could make some on the show. You could do a mulligan, but I was thinking maybe shotgun a White Claw.
Yeah, or just if you want, anytime you want a mulligan off the tee, you have to shotgun. That'd be electric.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just shotgun anything, or it can be a shot of something.
Shotgun or shot anything gives you a mulligan, but be careful. Too many mulligans and your game might start to deteriorate.
Yeah, I mean, and then you're on camera, you're just belligerent. Next thing you know, Lex is throwing up because he needs too many mulligans. The thing is that
right, and
I don't think that this isn't a 16-1 matchup we're talking about here. I would say this is like a 12-5, 13-4 matchup. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I mean, what's the closest you ever got into a hole-in-one?
I got like 3 feet one time on the course that I live on. I mean, it was like just a pitching wedge from 135. Other than that, I mean,
subtle flex. You can hit your pitching wedge 135.
Yeah, it's just flight it. Just flight it up there. Flight it up there.
Schooled my pitching wedge 135. Got it right next to the pin.
Yeah, I hit a ground ball. It just rolled up there.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This is definitely a 16-1 seeding for me. This, I'm looking forward to it, but I mean, I've come close. I would say 2 times where I was within like a foot and a half, and I played a lot, not a lot, but a decent amount of golf.
Yeah, I know you played a decent amount of golf, but like I've probably been playing more lately. I got a head of confidence, and I just don't think it's a 16-1 match. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna find out.
I mean, what happens?
The winner.
What happens if one of us hits a hole-in-one? Do we just leave the course and go straight to the bars, or what?
I think we have to. I think we hit we hit Old Town like right away.
I think with our
shower with the clubs. You have to get some sort of prize at Mountain Shadows. We should just ask for the prize in alcohol.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I hope we do it.
It's going to be fun. And then it'll be out, probably the week after. So vlog coming up. What are your thoughts on missing the interview with the legendary Sleaze of Golf Subpar?
I was sad to miss it, but I'm glad you were able to get that in. Not much else to say.
Okay. All right, let's get into it. Water cooler talk. This first topic here, I need to get your advice on something. Okay. How's that connection, by the way? Are we doing okay?
It's iffy, but I mean, I can hear you at least, so I think
okay. So I'm clear.
It will be a good video. Yeah,
that's good. So this first topic here, I just need your advice. This is sort of like a life advice thing.
Okay.
So lately, I've been going outside. It's getting really hot in Arizona, and I've been going outside with my shirt off. So like I've just been kind of just the no tarp guy around my apartment complex. It's not like I'm just doing,
Yep.
it's not like I'm just leaving in my car with my shirt off and jeans on. But let's say take out the trash, take out the trash, go get the mail. It's primarily shirtless right now. Is that a douche move? Is that just kind of weird? What are your thoughts on it?
I guess my follow-up question is, what's the complex culture like? Are there other guys going shirtless, or are you, the only guy going tarp off?
I believe I've seen one other consistently shirtless man that's kind of roaming around. I believe he has some sort of tour bus or some adventure tour business going on. So I see him,
Joe Exotic
mosey.
type.
Yeah, maybe a Joe Exotic. I see him moseying around the apartment complex shirtless. I'm definitely bigger than him, but he's probably a little bit more fit.
Okay, so that's good to know. And then what's the female situation like in your complex? Are there women to impress, or what's the
Okay,
deal?
I didn't know where you were going with that one, but there there's some attractive females for sure, absolutely, but I'm not trying to impress anyone. It's strictly a comfortability thing.
Hey,
I've
then
just been no tarp.
I say go for it. I go no tarp all the time. Sacramento is like the center of no tarp. No
Really,
one
yeah.
wears no one wears shirts around here. Tons of
It's
people, tons of homeless people, tons of regular people, just no shirts everywhere. So it's cool.
yeah, it's kind of the same here. That's what I was. That was my thought process. Like every now and then too, when I took the hot leaf, the devil's lettuce, as they say, on the balcony, listen to some Wiz Khalifa, I will do that with no shirt on as well.
Hey, it sounds nice. When I first read it in the notes, for whatever reason, I thought that you were the no tarp guy around the golf complex, and I was like, how could
Yeah, no, that would not be acceptable. They don't even. You have to wear a polo shirt there. They'll like kick people off if they're not wearing a collared shirt. All right, so we had a couple no hitters in Major League Baseball. John Means, who I read some article today. Look, I love John Means. His excellent story. We'll get into the story, and then Wade Miley as well through a no hitter. Another great story. These guys, like, there's two separate sides of the spectrum when it comes to how awesome sports is, and it's like the physical freaks that just do shit that no one else in the world can do, and then there's these stories of guys that have just grinded and grinded their way. Wade Miley's been around, seems like forever. He's pitched for a shit ton of teams. So
yeah.
these are always really good stories too. I think Means has had a really good season too.
Well,
So
wanted to bring up the Means one because I've seen Means throw a couple times against the A's now, and I've been pretty like damn impressed with how he's pitched against the A's, a pretty good offensive team, and he's filthy. He's filthy from the left side. So I was like not surprised to see that he threw a no hitter like the next week after that. Yeah, what do you think?
his changeup's nasty.
I mean, that's what
His
he is, fastball changeup guy.
Yeah, and I mean, he throws it to left-handers, which I really like too. That's like one of my favorite pitches is the left on left change, right on right change. It's kind of starting to be thrown a lot more. People are finally starting to realize, hey, like I don't have to just throw an off-speed pitch that goes away from the guy. I can kind of tie him up. So I love that trend, but just thought we'd give a shout out to them. Do you have any more thoughts on the no hitter and just I feel like we're going to see a lot more no hitters too because offense is not very good right now.
Yeah. So how many is that on the year? Is that 3 or is that 4?
It's Rodon, Means, Miley. I feel like could there be one more? There might be one more.
I'm gonna look it up real
I
quick.
could be Johnny Cueto, maybe
I don't
Gossman,
think it was Cueto, dude.
Alex Wood, one of the
Uh
Giants.
oh, the Padres guy, Joe Musgrave.
Oh
Joe
yeah,
Musgrove.
Musgrove. That's right. That's right. So yeah, 4 no hitters. Probably going to see a lot more.
I'm like not surprised. Oh my god, the Indians have got no hit twice this year.
The Cleveland baseball team.
Yeah, the Cleveland baseball team's got no hit by Rodon and Wade Miley. I'm not surprised that the Rangers and the Mariners also got no hit because their offenses are ass.
Yeah. the, The Mariners are bringing up Kelnick. So the Mariners' two best players, it's wild. Their two best players are in AAA.
Who's
Logan
the other
Gilbert.
guy?
Logan Gilbert's a pitcher. His numbers in the minors are simply absurd. Like very absurd numbers in the minors. He's dominated. He'll be
Is he
up
another guy where they?
sometimes.
Is he just another guy where they didn't bring him up because of the whole contract situation?
I'm
Or
assuming. I don't know. Could be.
but yeah, I looked at the Mariners lineup and like 5 through 9 are all hitting under 200. It's pretty like horrible.
Yeah, they're not offense hasn't been up to snuff. What are your thoughts on the Yanks fans just abusing the Astros?
Oh, I'm so happy. Because last year they were supposed to just get destroyed the entire year by fans, and obviously COVID destroyed that. And I was super bummed because the A's, they're in the same conference, but overall just
Same conference.
I'm not an Astros fan really after that. So I was really, really happy to see the Yankees fans just give it to the Astros. What do you think about that one?
Just give it to them. You cut out there for like half of that, so I didn't hear the
about
full
that.
bit, but I'm fine with it. Like I don't really. I told you this before. Like I'm kind of over. Like I just don't care anymore about the Astros. But like I'm totally fine with it. They definitely deserve it. I mean, Altuve. I interviewed the Houston Astros beat writer for the Houston Chronicle, the boy
Okay.
Chandler Rome, and he actually had some interesting stuff to say. He said Altuve was against it. Like he has I trust. He seemed like kind of a not sleazy guy. No disrespect to the sleaze, but he seemed like just a normal dude, like pretty genuine. I'd trust what he has to say. And he said Altuve was not involved. Altuve was against it. Blah blah blah. I get that. He still probably knew about it. The guys that were on the team, I think you kind of got to have some self-awareness here and just realize is this what's going to come? Probably it's going to stick with you for a while. I don't know when they're going to stop booing, but it's going to be a while, at least a couple of years.
And I'm sorry, but Altuve hitting that walk-off home run versus Aroldis Chapman in the ALCS Game 6 off a 2-0 slider, I refuse to believe that he wasn't cheating in some way.
It was also down the cock.
Who the hell sits a 2-0 slider off of Aroldis Chapman?
I'm just saying big league hitters are pretty good. I'm not on, this makes it seem like I'm taking their side now.
Dude,
I'm not taking their side.
You're an Astros guy.
I almost grew to like them last year when they were just shoving it up people's asses in the playoffs. But I think they definitely deserve it. Any more thoughts on the Astros and what's to come? The thing is that they're still going to be pretty good. They're always going to be competitive.
Yeah, their team's good, and there are guys that weren't really involved that year that are good and are helping the team. So I think they're I'm certainly afraid of them in the AL West as an A's fan.
As a longtime A's fan,
As a dedicated A's fan for the past 5 years, yeah.
Gotcha. That's a half decade. Last thing for water cooler before we get into the golf. Pujols, he didn't retire. I wrote that in the notes. I'm assuming he's still trying to get signed.
Yeah, he is.
And the Angels just released him. Which he's hitting under 200. If this was Johnny Slapdick, we're like, okay, another guy, designated for assignment. I'm not putting that down, but I'm just saying Pujols is hitting under 200. I'm not like faulting the Angels.
Yeah, I'm not like realistically, I'm not faulting the Angels, but after like doing a little reading on it, I think basically Joe Madden like benched him, and then Poole started lighting up Joe Madden, lighting up the GM and stuff like that. And instead of just like figuring it out, they just said fuck it and just released him. I'm like, dude, can't really do that to Pujols. Like this is a guy that deserves like the farewell tour in some way. And so for them to just release him and then just put out a statement is, I don't know, it's pretty weak.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was like bitching about not playing.
I just read one article that said he was like, I'm not going to just, sit on the bench for the rest of this year, criticizing Joe Madden, all this stuff. But I'm also like, completely agree with your take. Like, he's not hitting well enough to be in the starting lineup at all right now.
Right. He's
I don't know.
borderline.
It's just one of those things where he just really needs to come out and say, I'm retiring after this year or after next year or whatever, so people can like give him a farewell tour. But if he's like, just thinking that he's going to keep playing and playing and playing, what are the Angels supposed to do? Just hang on to him until he decides he's going to call it quits in 3 years or what?
Would you try and get the farewell tour?
If I had almost 700 home runs and over 3,000 hits, yeah.
I think I would do two. I'd say, okay,
Two
I'm
farewell
not.
tours.
Yeah, I think I would say like, I'm not retiring next year. I'm retiring the year after. But like, I'm encouraging you guys to give me as many gifts as possible.
Yeah, I like that. Interleague play, you're definitely not going to hit all the teams in that last year, so you got to
You
go.
got to
You
hit
got to go
every single.
2 years.
Got to hit. Or wait, in interleague play, don't you play? I'm sure. I think it's different now, but don't you like play a certain division each time? So you could theoretically do a
That would make
3 year.
sense, but I actually didn't know that.
You could theoretically to hit every single team. You may have to do a 3 to 4 year farewell tour.
you might have to put up some good numbers to get the 3 year farewell tour.
Yeah, that's like elite classification.
Yeah.
They should have like they should actually like classify that. That'd be interesting.
But anyway, I hope he's 33 home runs away from 700. I hope he has a chance to get there. He's probably going to need this season and next season to do it. So I don't know. Tony La Russa seems to love him. The White Sox have a bunch of injuries. My prediction is he gets picked up by the White Sox. But yeah, I don't know. The guy deserves to play. Deserves a farewell tour. There's someone out there for him. Some team out there for him.
How'd you feel about the A's?
No, the A's don't need him.
So you don't want the A's to give him a farewell tour at all? You think he deserves that?
I mean, I don't know all the rules and stuff, but I mean, like, do we have to pick up that contract? The A's can't afford that.
Yeah, they took one look at that. No thanks, buddy.
They have to cut the entire team.
Yeah, I know. Labor stoppage. All right. Wells Fargo Championship. Rory. He was awesome the whole weekend. He did it in a not Rory like way. I watched all 4 days. I had work 3 of them, but I recorded it and watched all of it all the way through. Absolutely loaded leaderboard. I mean, we had Answer making a move on Sunday. We had Hovland up there. Hovland just fucking hammers the ball, dude. He
Dude,
absolutely just
I think
hammers
I think your favorite guy is probably Hovland.
I'm an Answer guy. I want an Answer. I was rooting for that playoff.
I mean, it was close. So who was McElroy was not in the lead until Sunday, though, right?
Correct.
So
He was like
in
2 back. It was Keith Mitchell and Gary Woodland had some of the lead too. They like switched off. Scott Stallings. Do you know who Scott Stallings is?
No idea.
I had no idea either. He is. Look him up. He's the most jacked golfer I've ever seen. The dude is a fucking unit. He's an absolute unit.
Bigger than OG Brooks.
I don't know who that is.
Brooks Koepka when he first, made a name for himself on tour.
I thought there was just like, because there's nicknames like Old Tom Morris. I thought there was a guy named like OG Brooks in like the 40s. He was just massive.
No, like literally Brooks Koepka, like when he was jacked.
I think this guy's bigger. You should see this guy. He either that or he was wearing. He was wearing the tightest.
For sure.
He was wearing the tightest possible shirt like you could ever imagine, but he's fucking jacked. I'm looking at the other leaderboard, like the other guys on the leaderboard as well. Yeah, so it went Rory, Answer, Hovland, Mitchell, Woodland, Wallace, Reed. DeChambeau finished top 10. We'll get to DeChambeau in a little bit. The thing that I just loved about Rory is that it was like just a fucking lay your nuts on the table performance. Like it was the ultimate gut check. I always say this. when I would pitch, you're going to have 10 starts. You're going to have 3 of them where you're just shoving it up their ass barrel first. You're not even thinking about it. You're going to have 3 where you just get this fucking game over with. Get me out of here. Let me hit the showers. Let me just hang out and not think about baseball. And then you're going to have 4 where it's like, okay, you know, I got to change up here. I may have a little bit of sink on my fastball, so I got to adjust to what I have. Rory on that Sunday, he had that one 370-yard drive, which was amazing. It was fucking absurd. And then, but after that, he was bad with the driver. He really was not good off the tee. He was scrambling. He didn't miss a putt inside 6 feet. He also made, I believe it was, I wrote it down here, on 13, he made a par putt from 11 feet out, which, I mean, that on a Sunday, that's just big nuts. That's big cojones. So he was just scrambling, and we don't really see that from Rory. He's been said he's chasing distance. So I really loved what I saw from him.
Well, and it kind of, I mean, all that accumulated in the last hole, right? I mean, he basically hit one down the left side, out of play, had to drop.
So lucky. His caddy also won him the tournament. I mean, he hit an amazing shot on 18, but his caddy encouraging him to take the drop rather than just hitting it out of that terrible rough. He was like, well, you could just drop it. So, okay, yeah, let me drop it. And then he hits, you know, I don't know what it was, a 7 or 8 iron and
2 putts
flops it on the green. Yeah.
Was he not going to do that?
No, he was going to try and, so the lie, he was facing towards the creek. So he was like hitting down. So he was going to skull fuck it across the fairway. He was literally saying, he's like, I think I'm going to hit it across the fairway. And then he was about to hit it towards the crowd and just try and chip it like towards the crowd. And then finally his caddy's like, all right, no, you can take a drop here. So he's like, oh shit. Didn't even think about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a crazy finish. First of all, the drive is like, the announcer was awesome. Golf announcers are excellent. He was just like, he can do any, Faldo, Sir Nick was like, he can do anything here but hit it left. What do you know? He just fucking hooks barrel. He almost lost. Like, that would have lost him. He would not have recovered from that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he won by 1 stroke. Answer was solo second place. Is that how that finished
I
up?
believe it was solo second.
Answer certainly, gave himself a shot. Didn't he shoot a 66 on
66
on the last round? I mean,
homework.
Yeah, no, that would have been an epic playoff. But yeah, I think based on how it sounds like it was Rory's to lose, and he almost lost it.
Yeah, after like he kind of took it and then almost just handed it on a silver platter because Answer was dialed.
That's awesome. Well, that's Rory's first win in 2 years. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, almost. I think it's almost 2 years. But he's won this tournament. He's won at Quail Hollow 3 times. So he just dominates.
Yeah, this is his shit.
But also this course, I mean, I could have just been, I don't know, I could have been paying extra attention, just mega locked in all 4 days, brain on. But this course it made me realize these guys are just so fucking good. Like this course looked virtually impossible in some ways.
You explain it to me. Tell me what you saw.
I mean, that 16th, 17th, and 18th, the 18th hole, the fairway is about as skinny as my fucking computer, and I have a tiny MacBook Air. There's a creek on the left, heavy rough, and then there's the bunkers on the right. Some of the pin placements are up on ridges, so guys would just keep hitting it up on a ridge, and then it would just roll back down. There was just so many areas where guys were just getting eaten alive, like just getting absolutely destroyed from it. They even had like a highlight reel of I forgot what they call it. I don't want to get it wrong, but 16, 17, and 18, they made just a highlight reel of guys sucking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like their reactions, everything. It was Harmon like chipped it 2 feet into the creek from where Rory kind of was. So I think maybe that's what Rory was thinking. He's like, I'm just going to chip this either across the fairway or into the creek.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what people don't realize, because I mean, there are good golfers out there, and there are people that are like, yeah, I'm like a scratch golfer and all this. I'm like, well, you're not playing 7,300 plus. You're not playing the hardest courses with the hardest conditions. It's a
Yeah, with
whole
the pin
different
placement, like in this back right corner, left front corner of it, behind, like right
plan
next to
on
a bunker.
trying to land your ball on a hardwood floor and then putt it downhill. Like, dude, it's just not the same game. These guys are on an absolute different level.
Yeah, it really was awesome to watch. Last thing, Bryson accidentally flew home because he thought he missed the cut. This guy's the most unintentionally funny person on tour. And then, of course, in Bryson fashion, he had to plug his private jet sponsorship as well.
I mean, I'm kind of like, he flies back, has 30 minutes to warm up, shoots a 68 on Saturday. And I'm kind of like, Bryson, maybe you need to do less fucking thinking and just go out there and play normal golf, and you'll be a better golfer than what you are right now. I don't know. He's pretty damn good, but he just frustrates me so much sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to change
No,
that
he's not.
weird approach, but it's nice to see a change up a little bit. Just once, I'd love to see him, you know, uh, hanging after like a violent hangover and like going out and shooting like 65. I'd like to see that at least once in his career.
It'd be great to like have a guy be noticeably hungover on the course, and just the announcers talking about it, like, oh, this guy, he told us earlier that he had a rough night last night, and you're just following this hungover guy all Saturday.
Just a
That
camera.
I'd
He's
be,
part of the featured group, the featured
dude.
hungover group.
It could be anybody. If I knew there was a hungover guy playing on tour, I would follow that guy the
Follow him
entire day.
all day and just like not heckle him, but like maybe get him water, like just like get him a Pedialyte or something like that.
Dude, just wondering if this guy's gonna like puke on the course and then just rips one like 320 down the middle. You're like,
It's like hands on
this guy's
knees.
just wavering on the edge of like,
Yeah, it's got the
you know,
shakes. Yeah, there was a
guys
story.
sipping Gatorade.
Joel Damon told a story on Subpar one time about he went out in Old Town. So Joel Damon went out. He was playing in some mini tour event. Went out in Old Town one night. Was playing in a tournament the next day. Locked his clubs in his car and left his keys. So he called the director and was like, yeah, I got to drop out. I don't have clubs. And he's like, no, just come here. We'll get you some clubs. So he played with rental clubs and was hungover. Like he said, he was hungover as shit. He shot like a 66.
God damn.
See, like those are the cool. I would love to have had a camera on him.
God, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to know that about guys that are playing on tour.
Or just any sport. Like that should be like in the Sports Center top 10. Like, oh, alley-oop over a guy and he's hungover. Like something like that. Sweating a little extra.
Man.
I would like to know, or just it could be anything. Like he had Domino's last night and it was bad, and like his bowel, like he's just not feeling it today.
This guy missed the bus from the hotel and got chewed out by the coach and got a $10,000 fine. Let's see how he plays today. Like I'd be like, right. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Last thing, a 13-year-old you said qualified for the U.S. Open.
Okay, so he didn't qualify. I did my little research on this. I guess there's like 10,000 people that start the down here and funnel into the U.S. Open for the open spots or whatever that they have. So I guess you can compete in these 18. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. Mm-hmm. But you can compete in these if you have less than a 1.4 handicap index, which I'm sure, I don't know how many rounds you have to play and what that qualifies.
Wait, say that again. Less than a what?
Less than a 1.4. I'm sure there's a certain minimum number of rounds that you have to play and maybe a minimum number of difficulty. You can enter these 18-hole local tournaments, and if you win that local tournament or if you do well enough, then you can compete in these 36-hole sectional tournaments, which have more pros that aren't already qualified and other like high-level amateurs.
Right.
And I guess every once in a while, a young guy or someone that they're not expecting will sneak through. And I guess this kid has made it through. There's a 13-year-old that's made it through the 18-hole local. So he's going to a 36-hole sectional qualifier, which is pretty electric by itself.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win.
No, he probably won't. But I mean, for a 13-year-old to be playing, the full distance with the big guys and to shoot, I don't know, he shot. I think he shot a 70 or something and
Right. I
qualified. Like
think,
that's awesome.
yeah, I think it's going to be a blessing and a curse. Like I'm sure guys like saw this kid and they're like, I mean, this guy's nothing. They probably thought they were the same age as him. They're like, this kid is tiny. Um, and then once they, biologically, I just don't think he can keep up.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
So is he your pick to
No,
make it out
honestly,
of the region, the regionals?
don't even know where the sectionals are. Don't even know who's competing in the sectionals, and I don't even know the name of this kid. So
Gotcha.
I guess if I see another headline in a couple weeks, then I'll know.
Okay. Well, our final thoughts here. Do you have anything else on the golf world? We got AT&T Byron Nelson coming up, and then PGA Championship. I think that's actually. Is that the
Is that
week?
before the U.S.
That's
Open?
the week you're gonna be. The weekend you're gonna be here. So we can just have like a,
That'll be perfect.
yeah, it's awesome. Wow. Look at that. The stars just aligned. We didn't even know that.
Let's
Should have.
go.
Probably should have known that. Do you have anything else?
But no, I got no other thoughts. I definitely am not as up to date on golf as you are, so I'm glad you watched all 4 days of the tournament. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to add about golf?
Let me check on my notes here. Rory's caddy, yeah, Bryson missing or doing his flight. No, we definitely touched on everything. There was just one Twitter thread that I came across over the weekend. It was very interesting. It had to do with the 1961-1962 NBA season.
Oh yeah,
And
what was your note on that?
well, it says Elgin Baylor, he averaged 38 points a game. I was thinking, how the fuck did this guy not win the MVP? And he played only 43 games. Turns out he played 43 games because he was called into active duty military and could only play games on weekends. So
So
he
he
was
was
just,
just stationed at home, and they only let him play on weekends.
yeah, I guess so. And so he was just, I guess, sleeping in the barracks, you know, by
Just
during the week.
hooping at the military base, going
Well,
through his drills.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, and then, it got me down this rabbit hole of all these guys that miss seasons just for fighting in like World War II. So they went overseas and fought the Nazis. And, they talk about the MJ pickup games when they were filming Space Jam.
Yeah,
I got to know how these like pickup baseball games were with like Ted Williams at base camp. You got Ted Williams, you got Willie Mays. Like God knows who else they had. Guys were going overseas to fight in wars all the time. It's like, holy shit. And how were the teams chosen? Was it like, at the schoolyard, it's like first pick. Oh shit, I got Ted.
he's probably a captain, to be honest.
So Ted and Willie were the captains.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
It was remarkable to me. It's just like we got guys that don't play now because their pinky toe, which is on the way out, is hurting them. And then we have did not plays back in the 60s because it just says DNP fighting Nazis.
I think, dude, I think that the United States recognizes that sports are so important that I like, even if there was a draft, I'm sure that sports would be like an exception. Like they're not going to draft Patrick Mahomes. Like he's not going to war, dude. He's going to be playing quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guy's worth $500 million. United States economy rides on Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback. Like it's not happening.
What about LaMelo? Do you think could you see could you see LaMelo?
No, you think Michael Jordan's going to let LaMelo Ball go, his best player, go to war? Hell no. The Ball
Yeah, I
brother,
would.
Triple B is worth $1 billion brand.
LeVar's actually a viable candidate because he's not in the NBA. LiAngelo actually might too.
This is just stupid going down going on this tangent, but can you imagine like LeVar Ball like in the trenches, like, hey, keep it down, and just
Yeah.
LeVar's like, oh,
LeVar would be. You can't have that. He's a liability.
oh,
He would
absolutely,
not make it in the field because he's too loud.
dude. He'd just be like, making crazy claims like, yeah, I'm better than American Sniper Chris Kyle. He's like, yeah, I've killed more people than Chris Kyle. It's like, dude, no, you haven't. You're not better than Michael Jordan either.
He like comes back. He's going on all like the talk shows. Like, I killed 600 people. What's LeVar like? What are you talking? No, if we get like, could you imagine all the sports media like hot take guys like in one platoon? So you got like Skip Bayless,
Oh my
Max
God.
Kellerman, Steven, and it's just like a constant argument. Like everyone's just jawing at it. It's like, guys, like we're trying to freaking like, would you just shut it? You're gonna blow the cover. You're gonna blow the cover. Like Skip's going off about MJ like being better than LeBron.
Like, guys, keep it down. Stephen A. is just like, I'm having a very bad day.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, so is everyone else. Stephen A. Shut it.
Like, dude, yeah, we're overseas. We're in Ukraine. Like, what do you expect? Jesus, that
Oh
was
God, that's a really funny thought.
that was a great way to end the show. Despite your connection, I think we made it through fine. Did you also see the horse trainer blamed cancel culture on his horse?
Oh yeah, he blamed the guy that drank cough syrup who peed on the hay that he ate.
Yeah.
He ate tainted hay.
Yep. Yeah. Essentially, the horse drugged himself. Like the horse, he wanted the drugs. Is what Baffert's saying.
Dude, I don't care if you roid up horses. That should be allowed. It's cancel culture. Sorry.
So you're on the horse trainer side.
No, realistically, that's just blatant cheating. But it is kind of funny that now
it's like a great excuse.
I mean, you're never going to admit it, so it's like,
might as well
just like everyone else. Oh, I ate some food that I didn't know had HGH in it. It's like, what? That's your excuse? So
yeah, you got to have fun with the excuses at some point. If you
know
you're gonna lie, yeah, might as well just be like, oh, I was at Red Lobster, and then I got the endless shrimp, and then somehow like I don't know, it had to have been the endless shrimp. Like it's almost like the finger at the chili in Wendy's.
Yeah, not quite sure about that one. I think it's more about like, when you test positive for opiates and then you blame it on a poppy seed bagel that you had a couple days ago or something like that.
But that's actually true, right?
I mean, but you're not going to test. Yeah, if you eat like 15, I don't even know what the number is. I'm not going to say 15. I don't know how many poppy seed bagels you have to eat.
A poppy seed muffin almost every day in high school.
Dude, and how high were you?
Was not high, but I very well could have tested positive for. What do you test positive for?
I mean, poppy seeds come from opium, so opioids.
Does anyone actually just do pure opium anymore?
Isn't that like a Middle Eastern thing? I'm not really sure.
I know it's Asia. It was popular in Asia, but that was like in the dynasty era.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with just pure opium, so
I don't know the history of opium either. Maybe we'll touch on that next time.
If we're an opium vlog, I'm definitely gonna have to do some more research on that.
There's not that many opium vlogs.
Dude, I mean,
so that's
settle into the golf opium niche.
Yep. Love where your head's at. All right. That's enough for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, leave a nice comment. Please don't leave. If you want to leave a mean comment, I will read it. So just know you're just being mean online. My Twitter handle is @Orazo, Instagram @Orazo3.
My regular Instagram, Alex E. Aguirre, lifestyle. If you want my card Instagram, it's @Lex__cards. Screw it. I'll throw my Twitter handle out there. It's Alex Aguirre 9. I have like 35 followers, or maybe I've been following 35 people. So yeah, go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you. I'm just looking for content. So anyway, that's enough of that.
I heard you're going to broker a deal with my brother.
Oh, yeah, your brother was talking to me about his Tom Brady rookie card that he's got autographed. Um, yeah, if he, yeah, we got to do a little research on that card. If you want the whole spiel, I can give it to you, but basically,
It's not
I
that
don't,
much.
I don't know how much it's worth because it's autographed. It's worth a lot, but I just don't know how much. So I'm trying to help him figure out how much it is, and then maybe help him sell it or get it graded or
So you
whatever.
have no idea.
No, because I do a lot of my comps just based on like what sells on eBay, which are like, the card itself, or if the card comes with an autograph, if you pull it out of the pack. But he literally got that card signed by Tom Brady, who wrote on it
Himself. Yeah.
himself. So there's not that many of those, and you have to get that authenticated. But like, it's definitely worth a lot more than just the card itself. I just don't know how much.
I have one of those too. My parents texted me about it, and then I love my parents to death. Shout out, Mom, Mother's Day. Love you. Love you too, Dad. But they told me about it. Hey, we have this Tom Brady signed rookie card. They can't find mine. So
That's a bummer because it's probably, in the thousands of dollars that they can't find.
yeah, I know. So hopefully we find it. Tune in next week. We will be back. Talk about AT&T Byron Nelson and just life. Maybe we'll talk about more potential military pickup games.
Dude, I'm down.
All right, man.
Thanks
We'll
again for
catch
having me,
up.
Orlando.
Thank you.